tough game. And, I think the key of the whole game was the fourth quarter when they got it to 4. And, we called timeout, and our guys that had been in the game responded, I think, with a 9-2 run that put the game back in our control. And so they showed a lot of wherewithal, a lot of fortitude. Not an easy situation. Irving's hot and going crazy, but they held the line, and that was big.
In that specific moment when the Mavs are making a comeback, what goes into the decision for you as a coach to leave in that group of 5 off the bench that had a good first half but wasn't playing well right then versus make subs?
I just believe in those guys. They've been too important to us all year long. I just told them the timeout. I said, we're okay. Here's what we got to do. We got to get a couple of really good shots, and we're going to make it harder on Kyrie. And they did exactly that. So I'm proud of those guys. Otherwise, our starters were headed for a boatload of minutes, and this helps us a little bit for tomorrow night. But look, Dallas is a great team. It's Doncic is just he's just so great, and Irving is almost impossible too. It's but we just try to make it hard on him, and our guys played hard.
Myles got to the foul line more than he has in 3 years tonight, 33 points. What did you see from him in terms of getting to his spots or the team finding him in the right places? How did he get going so well for you guys?
Well, he rebounded tonight very well again. He had double-double last game. Tonight he had 8. And he was putting pressure on the rim, both with rim runs and with rolls off pick and rolls. And so, Tyrese is so good at hitting him at precisely the right moment that he's able to cause a lot of damage in there, cause a lot of problems.
Was it something about the way the Mavs were covering him that allowed him to get to his spots, or was it all just him and Tyrese reading the openness and getting to the spots, stuff like that?
Well, Tyrese is getting a lot of aggressive coverage on pick and rolls, and so our rollers are really important because they're either going to have the shot or the rim attack, or they're going to make the next pass, which is the key pass. So, and look, it can be frustrating, if you're a guy like Ty that is getting this kind of coverage every night, but he plays the right way. He finds guys at the right time, and it was a very big key to this game.
You obviously mentioned Luka and Kyrie and just trying to make it tough on him. It seemed like Andrew really did that whenever he had both of those assignments at some time or another. Just what did you like about him all around the night? He was also 7 of 8. It would impress you about the presence he brought defensively.
Well, I thought Nembhard and Mathurin were both great. Mathurin had 14 points and 11 rebounds. And he made a couple of rebounds in traffic that were really big. There was one play where they threw a lob, and he went up and stole it from P.J. Washington at a pivotal time in the game. That was huge. And he made key shots at key times. And, look, Drew is the guy that everybody takes a little bit for granted. He's gonna press up in the pick and rolls. He's gonna play it physical. He does a lot of the dirty work. And he's, quietly gotten in a real offensive groove too. So a lot of good things happening.
I get to stay on that point. I was going to ask about that next. What do you think has gotten better for him offensively in terms of getting his spots, hitting the shots that he wants? Just how do you think he's got himself into that groove?
Well, good health is always a big determinant of how well you're playing offensively with rhythm. He's continued to stay the course with the work he's done on his long-range shooting. And, I told him recently, that I do not look at stats. I look at process. I look at how guys are stepping into shots. And, I said, with what you've been through, with being in and out and in and out, you just got to stay the course. And you got to keep believing in the work that you're doing. And that right now, those things are coming to fruition. So it's great to see. It really is.
Big part of that 9-2 run you mentioned was a couple of threes by Ben Sheppard. Obviously, he goes 5 of 6 from the field, 5 of 5 from 3 tonight. Just what continues, I guess, impresses you about him, just what he's been able to do on both ends of the poise, I guess, that he's showing in some of these key spots when he's getting a lot of minutes lately.
For a young guy, he's a very good system player, and he stays in the process. You know, he's unfazed by the moment, and if there's a good shot, he takes it. If not, he keeps it moving. Defensively, you know, he does a good job with his length and with his feet, and has been pretty good with avoiding fouls for a rookie. And look, we need him right now. You know, with Aaron out, I don't think Aaron's going to play tomorrow. And you know, he played a key role in the fourth quarter in Toronto last week, and you know, we're going to need him and everybody else tomorrow.
Coach, we might describe this as a complete game. I don't know if you would use that exact word as a coach with things you can always clean up, but with so many players seeming to give you an efficient contribution tonight, how exactly would you describe it from a whole team perspective?
You know, the whole game for us was about our edge, our competitiveness. You know, we wanted to be up the floor, making it difficult. You know, our guys did, you know, virtually the whole game, and we just wanted to stay aggressive and not look at the scoreboard. You know, and just play the game and just play our game. You know, so I thought we did it well. You know, you're never going to have an easy game against a team like Dallas. I mean, they're going to make a run and get it to 4, and then you're going to have to respond. And so our second unit did. Our starters came back in and made a few plays, and then we were able to get them out. So, you know, we'll load up and get ready for tomorrow.
Today you had to defend Luka a lot, defend Kyrie a lot. I mean, what goes into a game like this for you in terms of mentality and like focusing on a bunch of little dirty work kind of things?
Just doing anything I can help to help my team win.
Myles Turner, season high in scoring tonight. Rick just talked about Ty with you when you're getting trapped like that. To have him be such an option inside and out is so valuable. How have you felt that kind of connection grow, especially as the defensive pressure on you has changed throughout the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think that a team like Dallas, they were living with that shot. They were blitzing, trusting that they had the weak side rotation, and you know, living with the mid-range 2 from Myles, and he makes that a consistent clip. So we just kept going at it the whole third quarter. Basically, we just didn't really run much, just a lot of high pick and roll and play out of that. You know, I think just allowing, you know, I think that just sometimes my gravity, bringing 2 guys off, you know, and then having guys like Ben and Myles and Pascal and Drew and all the other guys we have on our roster to make plays out of it. And I think that, you know, the first time that we saw this was against LA in the tournament, and then now teams have been starting to do that against us more consistently. So we've had some good experience with it, you know, throughout this year.
Do you have him have any sort of signal on popping versus rolling? Does he make the call when there's space? Do you tell him where you think is better? How does that all work out? It's over the course of the game.
It's just feel. It's just growing chemistry together, understanding who the low man is. You know, sometimes when it's a bigger dude, you know, as the low man, then he might not roll as much. But if it's a guard, like it was a lot today, then we want him to roll because he can create a seal. And then if we play off the skip, then that causes confusion. So it's really just feel depending on how the game is going.
Just to kind of stick on Myles for a second, I mean, just, you know, how great of a luxury is it to have a guy that has that option and that he can score at all 3 levels, basically as a big, can hit the mid-range, can hit the 3, you know, can get to the rim like that. When you've got that in your pocket when you're playing on the pick and roll game, just how important is it to have that variety?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, really interesting for me, just because when I first came to the league playing with Rashawn Holmes, I envisioned my perfect pairing just being a lob big, you know, just a guy who played above the rim, set screens and roll, like guys like, you know, Daniel Gafford, guys like that. And so playing with Myles has been interesting because that's not really what he does. He's not a lob guy. He pops. He's a good finisher. He's got good hands. So, you know, that's been the interesting part in growing our relationship and our team, you know, teamwork on the court. So it's been interesting, but I couldn't imagine it being any different. Like it's such a plus that you don't think of until you have it, you know. And I couldn't imagine not having a big that could space the floor like that. So it really helps me.
Ben, I want to go back to just guarding Luka. I mean, just what was it like just kind of growing through that assignment through the course of the game? What did you kind of have to figure out about learning how to defend him, and how do you feel like you got better over the course of the game?
Just pretty much, I mean, you know, he's a great player, so pretty much just adjusting to knowing who he is, you know, knowing that he has second and third moves, thrust moves. So pretty much just trying to stay down and pump fakes, you know, and knowing his game.
Do you feel like you got a lot better at that as far as just not playing into, I guess, the second and third moves? I mean, what did you have to do to keep
Sure. I mean, I think in the first quarter he got me once, Kyrie got me once, so pretty much adjusting, knowing who they are, like I said, just playing hard.
Like, obviously, when you hit shots, obviously that kind of works on both sides of the floor, builds your confidence up. How big was it for you to knock a couple down? How much do you think that helped you on both sides of the floor?
You know, I'm gonna be honest. I went in the game, you know, just minding on defense. I was, you know, given the assignment, you know, to help, you know, and contain as much as I can, Luka and Kyrie, and you know, I just felt like, you know, Ty told me I just had to, you know, to let the game come to me. So pretty much that was the second thing, but trying to keep the game simple.
Drew's been dealing with injuries for most of this year, and it seems like it's taken a while to find some offensive rhythm. Tonight, though, he's 7 of 8. It looks like he's starting to find out his shot, you know, figure out kind of what he's doing on that end. Obviously played pretty good defense. How have you seen him just grow, especially lately, as he's, you know, gotten back into good health?
Yeah, I think that, I mean, obviously what Drew did last year, starting basically the whole year, you know, as a rookie, he wasn't really expected to play. And then coming into this year where the role was kind of undefined as the backup point guard, and now moving back to what he was doing last year, and that's playing guard, you know, starting guard with me, I think has been interesting for him. And I think it's just about getting his rhythm. Like you said, he's been hurt, dealing with some back stuff, all that stuff. And now that he's fully healthy, I think that he's been playing really well. Defensively, he does what he does. That's not going to change game to game. But I think just like any NBA player, all it comes down to is just a confidence thing. Like, that can separate people, and I think that's why it's allowing him to play so well right now. He just has a lot of confidence in his game, a lot of swagger to his game, and I think that's allowing him to be so successful as of late.
Can you both kind of speak to Sheppard had some really big shots tonight. Speak to just his growth, the growth that you've seen over the course of the season from him.
Yeah, I think that the game is just slowing down for him a little bit. Not anything crazy, but I do think that, you know, he's starting to come into his own a little bit. I think that the G League experience has helped him a lot, you know, just gaining confidence. And I think we're all always on him just to look at the rim. Like, sometimes he's just playing at 150 miles an hour and he's running up and down the floor and never even looks at the hoop. So you even saw it today on his first catch in the corner. Kyrie didn't even put his hand up, and I don't even think Shep even knew. He didn't even look at the rim. So I think for him it's just keeping his confidence there, you know, and everything else will fall into play. But I think for him it's just maintaining, if he's playing, if he's not playing, whatever the case is on a night-to-night basis, just locking in, paying attention, and be ready when his number is called. And I think that him and Jarish can both relate there, you know, to be ready when their number is called. And a lot of the other guys who aren't playing right now, just be ready when it's called, because we got a very deep bench, and, you know, injuries and all that stuff happen throughout the course of a year.
Ben, when Coach was in here earlier, he said this game was all about your grit. I ask you, since you're in the thick of it, you get 11 rebounds tonight. I mean, what does it take to show that grit? I mean, day in and day out in the NBA, knowing you're playing teams like Dallas, you know they're going to give you a punch down the stretch and kind of make it close, even when you have a little bit of a gap there.
Sure. I mean, I think the main thing is to never let up. You know, they're a great team. You know, they won 7 in a row before coming over here. And, you know, we have a goal. So pretty much just trying to stick to it. You know, and I mean, the main thing for me is just, you know, trying to help the team win, trying to do it, you know, everything I can, and just sticking to the plan.
Jeremiah, thank you. This game was 104-100, and then the Pacers go on a 20-4 run, and it was the bench unit that got it started, and then the starters came in and kind of finished the deal. What did you see that really kind of changed the course of the game there in the fourth?
I think we stuck to our identity. We did what we do. We played pace on offense, moved the ball, trusted each other. And then defensively, we just played hard and know those two guys are going to make tough shots, but you just got to keep trying to make them take those tough shots and see if they don't fall.
It kind of felt like a typical game for you when things are going well. You're making life difficult defensively, and the shot was falling. How would you evaluate your night?
I thought it was a good night for me. I think I did my job.
You guys continue to stack together wins against some of the top teams in the NBA as you continue to gather victories like this. What does it do for the confidence here in the locker room?
It does good things. I think we're all understanding the importance of these last 25 or so games, and we want to come together and grow as a team and make a push for that playoff. So I think it's good for our confidence, being a team that's on a 7-game winning streak like that.
Back-to-backs at times have been a challenge for this team this year. You've got another one coming up. Toronto here tomorrow. What are you looking to see here as you turn things around pretty quickly?
Oh, I think just maturity. I think we got to be mature and come to work and do our job. We don't need to worry about if it's a back-to-back or not. We just need to win the game.
Jeremiah, thank you. This game kind of felt a little perilous as Dallas cuts the lead to 4. Rick Carlisle takes a timeout, but he trusts that second unit. He keeps you guys in there. You reward him with a couple threes. Obi hits one. The game kind of changes immediately. Can you take me through that really key stretch of the game from your perspective?
Yeah, Coach was super positive through that little run they went through. After he called that timeout, he was just basically like, we're good, we're fine, trust you guys. We came out there and kind of gained a little bit big of a lead for the first unit to come out and finish the game for us. So it's good team basketball we played today, and it was a good time. So.
Some nights the shots fall, sometimes they don't, but a 5-for-5 night really stands out for you. Get some congratulations here in the locker room. What was working for you here against the Mavericks?
I mean, I didn't even hit the rim. It felt good. I don't know. You just have days like that as a shooter. But that was good for my confidence going into the rest of the season. So it's cool.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that because Rick is using you more in defense and is a key part of that. But if the shot making can follow, it has to really add to the confidence in what he provides in putting you out on the floor.
Definitely. 3-and-D, that prototype in the league is just such a sought-after type player. And I'm trying to get to that point and just show my defense, my three-point abilities very effective for teams. So.
Back-to-backs have been a little bit of a challenge for this team this year. You've got another crack at one here coming up tomorrow, Toronto in the building. What's it going to take here for the Pacers to win both of these?
Just stay together, not get too high and not get too low. Obviously, this is a great win, but we still got work to do tomorrow, and we're ready for it, and it should be a fun night tomorrow.
How are you feeling in the course of this season right now, and what does it mean to have this kind of trust from your teammates as it's gotten to this point?
Yeah, it definitely feels good. 5-5 night, some shooters have those type of nights, and just felt good. Everything that came out of my hand felt good today, but not getting too high, not getting too low. Keep it rolling and keep playing with confidence. So.
When they're telling you to be aggressive with your shot, I mean, do you have any moments in the game where you're still like thinking and hesitating a bit, or is it getting more natural for you to just catch it and step into it like you did today?
It's definitely getting more natural, but when I check in, sometimes I gotta get a feel for the ball first before I let that first one go. But yeah, just staying ready, being shot ready at all times. So.
What I think Ty said he was just telling you to look at the rim more. I mean, is that something that you have to get used to? Is just to say like, you know, to think first that you're looking to shoot the basket.
I mean, my bad. I mean, yeah, I guess so. Especially everyone, my whole team knows that I can shoot the ball, and sometimes I don't show that. So just being more aggressive and looking at the rim, just like Ty says. So.
Defense. Go ahead.
When they cut it to 4 there at the start of the fourth quarter, Rick stuck with that second unit, and you rewarded him with a couple of big shots. Just what's it mean to have the confidence of your coach to stick with that group there?
That means a lot. He brought us together. It was just like, we're good, we're fine, I trust you guys. And the second unit came out and provided a kind of bigger lead for the first unit to come in and close the game. So it was cool that he trusted us like that and just playing team basketball.
Myles can score inside and out like that. How much does that change what everybody else can do around him? Because he was out there was so significant for you guys today.
Yeah, he's so versatile as a player, and I think he's a tough matchup for any team in the NBA. And what he's able to do off pick and rolls, popping, getting threes, getting people good looks, that just does a lot, works wonders for our offense, and we're all happy to play with a guy like Myles.
Ben, coming in tonight, I mean, Dallas won 7 straight. Just what was your attitude as a team knowing that, hey, you're playing a team that was kind of on fire right now?
Yeah, they're a great team. They've been hot ever since that deadline. But we're confident in who we are, and especially they're here in Indy, and we just felt good, and we were confident in what we could do today. So.
Coach was saying that there's a lot about your grit, even though Dallas came back there in the fourth quarter, made it within 4. You guys were able to pull away at the end. Would you describe this team as a gritty team, and what does it take to be gritty in the NBA on a night-in, night-out basis?
I definitely would describe this team as a gritty team. Coach is always talking about hard play and what that means to this organization. And every time we go on the floor, we just got to play hard, play for each other, and just play Pacer basketball. So.
The school only scored 108, and they shot 45% from 3. I mean, what defensively was working so well for you guys in this one against a team that had won 7 in a row entering today?
Yeah, trying to slow down guys like Luka and Kyrie. They're great players, but trying to take away the role players, what they're getting done on the floor. So I'm just slowing down those guys and impairing the role players. I guess it was the biggest key to today's game. So.
I mean, you had Kyrie for a couple positions.
Yeah.
What was that like? Basically, what's it? You know, that's obviously a big challenge. What do you go in there thinking? Basically, what do you feel like you did well when you had to?
Yeah, I respect Kyrie's game so much, especially growing up watching him.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool moment to be guarding him today. But obviously, when I'm on the court, I'm not really thinking about that. But he is a very tough matchup, super skilled, super shifty. But
yeah, I feel like I held my own. So
Is it craftier when you're guarding him than when you see it on TV?
definitely, definitely.
Tonight was about your grit as a team, even though they kind of came back in the fourth quarter a bit. You guys were able to hold them off. Would you describe this team as a gritty team? What makes a team in particular gritty than others, perhaps?
It's just your disposition, your mindset. You know what I mean? I think that for the most part, it's something we've been trying to build upon, all season long. A lot of stuff starts with our defense and our mentality, going into that. And I think as a whole, the message has been clear these last, 25, 24 games, whatever it is, what our goals are. And, we got to take things one game at a time, and we're able to come out with a good one today.
When a lot of different players are contributing, you score a season high, Sheppard's hitting threes, Tyrese, of course, doing what he does, Mathurin's getting 11 rebounds. What does that feel like? We might call it a complete game. I'm sure you guys know that there's things you can improve on always, but how would you describe what it feels like out there when everyone's contributing?
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, there's no such thing as a perfect game. There's always stuff you can improve upon, but I just think our guys did a good job with our resiliency tonight. And I think that they have some special players over there. When they start to make, plays, it can get discouraging, but, we stayed the course, and I really think that our second unit, they really held it down tonight as well.
You had that season high 33. Rick and Ty were kind of talking about how you and Ty playing off of each other led to a lot of that as he's getting trapped and you're finding the right spots. What has gone into your reads when he's?
Hey, TJ.
What has gone into your reads when he's seeing that pressure when it's popping or rolling or attacking a small, whatever it may be?
I think the guys have been on me, just making an emphasis to get around the basket and whatnot. And I try to just assert myself there a little bit more tonight. You can always read when to pop or shoot your threes and whatnot, but I think the team needs to be more of a presence down low. And honestly, just whatever the team needs at this point. If they need me to go down there and shoot. That's it. Stay by the basket and do that as well. So it's versatility in my game. And I'm a 3-level scorer, and I try just to just play to my strengths.
How much of that being around the basket led to 12 free throw attempts for you today? Most you've had in 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, just aggressiveness, man. I tricked that one off. I was trying to go right from the line, but I looked right at my dad when I did it too. It's like, being around the basket, it's a result of that, obviously, and just making yourself more presence down there.
Something about go against Dallas you still really love, even this late in your career?
Yeah, man. Bedford, Texas, man. Shout out. I know everybody back home was watching. Everybody back HEB was smooth, and it was a good opportunity for me tonight.
How do you just see that continue the partnership between you and Ty on the screen and roll stuff on the pick stuff improving over time in terms of what you're going to do, where he's going to find you?
Just experience, playing more together. I think Ty is a special player. I think we, it's almost we have a synergy. Like I know where he's going to pass it before he passes it. He knows where I'm going to go before I go, and that type of stuff just comes with playing off each other and just establishing a relationship together. So, things have been good for us, and we'll continue to keep improving upon it.
Last few years after the All-Star break, you've dealt with a few injuries. The team's been destined for the lottery.
Damn, weak.
What's it mean for you to be back playing meaningful games this time of year?
Yeah, no, it feels great, honestly, and just contributing towards something bigger than myself. I think the biggest goal for all of us in here is to get to the playoffs and, be effective and, make a run in the playoffs. So being a contributing factor to that is something that means a lot to me. I know it means a lot to the city, so just continue to put on and, be the best version of myself.
Only 108 for that Dallas team who'd been red hot recently, and they still shot well from 3. What do you think clicked so well for you guys defensively throughout the night today?
I feel like just not getting discouraged. I feel like you got guys, great playmakers like Luka and Kyrie out there making just hellacious shots at times. Like I said, it can get discouraging, but I think we all kind of just bunkered in. There's times where we bickered at each other, but it all came out of love, and that's the best thing about it. We can get on each other and hold each other accountable, and still be able to move forward and expect the best from each other. So, like I said, it just comes with playing well together. Playing together with that experience, resiliency, and just continuing to up the ante a bit.
A bunch of young guys had those primary assignments, whether it was Drew, whether it was Ben, Mathurin, or Sheppard. I think each had a turn on either Luka or Kyrie or both. I think Drew in particular. Just what impressed you about how each of those guys brought some presence to those matchups and fought them, made them work.
Yeah, I think it's just our intensity within the second unit with our younger guys is something that's definitely take note of. I think guys are fearless. Guys put in so many hours in the gym, and a lot of that game shows when they're out there hooping. So. I'm proud of Shep tonight, especially. He came out there, he plays his role so well, plays with a lot of energy. I think he went 5 for 5 tonight. It's his career highs, across the board. It's just it's cool for him to get that experience so early. I think that's one of the best things that helped me in my career is, my rookie year, my early years, getting out there to be able to play early and, contribute to a winning team, playoff team. And I'm glad he's getting that experience.